Let's talk about, before we spend more time talking about Oshkosh, let's talk about your Louisville friends and the challenges and the problems you had with them in that time before you went back to college.
I lost a few. My best friend, who's actually my dad told me, he was married in, I think, January of that year or something, and I went up for it and I was his best man, from what my dad told me.
So this would have been about a year after you got hurt?
This would have been right before.
Oh, right before, okay.
Right before, because I don't, anything before about 88, my dad has to fill in, even before then probably.
So you stood up for his wedding about 2 months before
I had my accident.
your accident, and you don't have any recollection of that?
No.
So that's a pretty serious whiteout in terms of memory.
Yes.
All right. So you're talking about your friend.
My friend, him and his wife had a really hard time understanding what was going on for me, and had a hard time understanding about the anger issues and all the other issues I was going through. And they just started fading away. I mean, I think the last time I saw them was right before I got married, and that was it. I married my first time.
Do you remember the mood issues you had during that period?
The issues?
I mean, you're talking about your anger. Do you have any specific recollections of those angers, or what would make you mad, or things that would upset you?
I remember two things. One, I said about the filing cabinet I beat up and there was nothing left. The other one, I'm sad to say, my sister came home and I was down from Oshkosh, if I remember right. And I couldn't take kidding. I didn't know how to understand it. And I slugged my sister a few times. And finally my dad came home and I just left. I went back to Oshkosh because it was my comfort zone.
How old is your sister?
She's 4 years younger than me. She is 36.
Did you hurt her?
I hit her on the back, and I don't think so. But she had a hard time with it because at the time her boyfriend was being abusive to her and I didn't know.
Just a minute.